Hello everybody, welcome back. This video is all about Extrema. Extrema is literally just maximum and minimum values. So we're talking about the highest point in a neighborhood or the lowest point in a neighborhood. And this little graph that I've made sort of illustrates what I'm talking about. Right here, this point that I'm pointing to is higher than anything around it. So we call this a local max. Now down here, let's look at these two. These two are supposed to be the same height, and they're both the lowest points in their neighborhood. So this one by itself, if we just consider its little neighborhood, would be a local min, and the same here. These would both be local min. However, since there's nothing that goes below this y value, the y value is also the absolute min, again, because nothing goes below it. Now let's look at this local max again. This is not an absolute because if we go to the right, we can see this little guy, this point is above. So this one's a local max. Now let's look here now. This is also a local max, because it's the largest y at this point has the largest y value in its neighborhood. But it's also an absolute max. Okay? This is an absolute maximum. And so I guess the thing to understand here is that every absolute is also a local. So every absolute min or max, in other words, every absolute extrema, is also a local. The converse is not true. It is not true that every local is also an absolute, and we can see that here. We can see, for example, let me change my color, yeah. This here. This is a local min, but not an absolute because this y value is lower. This is a local max, but not an absolute. Local max, not an absolute. Local max and absolute max, because nothing goes above this. And also, something I want to point out about Extrema is that Extrema refers to the y value. And this might seem obvious, but let's have a discussion. So, when I was first learning this stuff, let me put some numbers here. Let's say this is x equal -1, and let's say that this y value down here is -5. Okay, so let's say this y value is -5. The y value is -5. And let's say that over here is x equal 1, and over here is x equal, I don't know. Let's keep it simple. Let's say this is x equal 2. Okay? So when I was first learning this stuff, I would say that there's two different absolute mins, but there's not. There's actually only one. The absolute min the absolute minimum value on this function, on this curve, is y equals -5. Okay, now here's the thing to understand. This is the one and only absolute min. However, it occurs at two locations. It happens at two x values. Okay, it occurs at x equal -1 and x equal 2, if I remember correctly. -1 and 2. Okay, so the minimum points means x, y. -1, -5, and 2, -5. So there are two absolute minimum points, but only one absolute minimum y value, and that's y equals -5. So, part of this video is about details and how we use vocabulary. But it is an important distinction. Are you being asked to find the points, the local or absolute max or minimum points, or are you being asked to find the absolute min or max, local min or max value? Value refers to y value, points refer to x and y values. Okay? So, understanding it in terms of a graph, I think, is the way to go.